It's the final games of Week 1 in Athletes Unlimited softball. The hit parade continued on day 2, but the defense played an equally important role as well, as leather was flashed and rallies were stymied. New faces made their presence known and voices heard by earning MVP points in each game as well. Every moment counts, so don't miss one. The brilliance is unlimited. Here in Chicago, Illinois, they love their Lake Michigan and they love their softball. We're in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside the city, getting ready for our 6th and final game of Athletes Unlimited's opening weekend, year 3. Athletes Unlimited softball, and this leaderboard brought to you by Geico is updated every instant with every single thing that is done on the field. Right now, Carrie Everly leads the way with 452 points, but after a mammoth game earlier today, Savannah Jaquish is in 2nd place. Now, this is some of the best softball players in the world, 60 of them, and they're ranked each and every day because of this innovative scoring system that we have. Everything that you do, you either gain points or lose points. At the end of every weekend, the 4 top point getters will be the captains for next week's games. Those teams are decided every Monday when the captains make their pick. Hello, everyone. So glad to have you along for the ride on a Sunday evening here in Rosemont, Illinois, with my partner, Madison Shipman. I am Eric Collins. This is our opening weekend, the first of 5 weekends of Athletes Unlimited softball play. And Madison, so far this weekend, the veterans, the people who have been there that understand the system, they've really shown.
Yeah, the veterans really using their knowledge from previous seasons to their advantage. They know the scattering reports. They know what it takes to be successful in this league. Game 1 today, we saw an explosion of home runs, but the team that has hit the most home runs so far in Week 1 has been Team Chidester. The heart of their order has been non-stop this entire time. So much power back to back to back. They have hit 6 combined home runs through the first 2 games of Week 1. Anissa Urtez coming out on fire, driving this one over the center field wall. Another batter in their offense is Amanda Chidester, her fiance, going opposite field with this home run for her 2nd already on the season. And then it was Bubba Nickles driving this one way over that left field wall. 2 straight games where Team Chidester has hit 3 home runs, but they're going up against a tough squad led by Alicia Ocasio, the team captain this year. She has been great in the circle, working the ball all through the zone. She's got that dynamic rise ball. She's got that heavy drop ball that she'll throw, and she's even pulled the string on a couple of pitches as well. She's shown that she is really sharp in the circle so far this season.
Well, Ocasio can earn points both with the bat in her hands and also pitching, but you get the most amount of points by winning innings and winning a game. Every player on the winning team gets a plus 50 for winning an individual inning. Every player on the team gets a plus 10. Then, of course, you get points for stats like hitting doubles, 20 points, homers 40. Pitchers get 4 points for every out, a negative 10 for every earned run allowed. And at the end of every game, we have MVP votes handed out. That's where you can get some serious points as well. All right, let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew, Key Michael. Key, where are you and what's going on?
Hey guys, I'm currently in the dugout, in the orange team dugout, but I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to be roaming around, trying to chat with some friends, some family, just anyone who loves these players as much as you do at home. So use hashtag KeyCamp if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them for you.
Phenomenal. All good. It has been a special opening weekend, year 3, Athletes Unlimited softball. This is our final game of the weekend, final chance to get some points. Sarah Gronewagen is going to get the start.
Gronewagen coming in as one of the several athletes here at Athletes Unlimited, bringing in their Olympic experience. She's a right-handed thrower that throws the ball in the mid-60s. She's got a really good rise ball, a jumpy ball up in the zone, and a strong changeup. She's one of those pitchers that is constantly going to mix speeds to try to catch these batters off balance.
Gronewagen was part of a dynamic pitching staff. Team Canada last year, Lauren Bay, Danielle Laurie. Good job. All right, let's take a look at the lineup card. Amanda Chidester hands this card in. It's got Haley McClenny, short conversation for the best hitter in the world, followed by Anissa Urtez, who's been red hot, 2 homers in 2 games. Chidester, Bianca Stelli, Nichols, Sierra Romero, Jordan Roberts, Sydney Sherrill, and Aaliyah Andrews batting 9th. And we're underway. First pitch steamer, called strike 1 from Gronewagen. Haley McClenny. 2 for 6 in 2 games with a double. Ball was flying earlier today. Ball game between Team Zirkle and Team Eberly. Still had the same conditions, wind blowing out to center field. Hit well into right field, leadoff single for McClenny, and Ocasio actually throws to first base, making sure McClenny's busted it down the line. Third hit of the weekend for McClenny. You got Lorenz in left, Shannon Rhodes in center, Ocasio's in right. It's an infield of Nadia Taylor, Abby Ramirez, second baseman Janae Jefferson. Danielle Gibson is the first baseman. That's two rookies on the right side, maybe a factor. And then the veteran catcher Gwen Svekis. Here's Anissa Urtez. Lays down a bunt. Nice bunt. It's going to be a positive at bat for Urtez. It's a +10 for laying down a sacrifice. That's the first out of our ball game. McClenny is in scoring position.
Talked about the ball leaving the yard in game one. We got in our game MVPs for game one today. Game 5 total over week 1. And Savannah Jaquish having herself a fantastic day. 2 home runs, a triple out to right field. Gets that MVP 1 spot. Deja Mulipola and MVP 2. And Alyssa Denham coming in as MVP number 3 for that game.
Yeah, good for her. Yeah, that game pitching really struggled right out of the chute for both sides, but it calmed down when Denham got into the game. Terry Eberly was really good on her side, and a nice performance by Rachel Garcia to finish it out.
I think it's important to note, too, that the MVPs are voted upon by the players right after the game. This is a very player-led league. You notice there are no coaches out there. These players are the ones that are making the in-game decisions, how to put the lineup together, and, of course, choosing those MVPs after each and every game.
Two Olympians matching up, Rona Wagon and Chidester. Called strike. Chidester making the announcement before the season began. This is going to be it. The great veteran is retiring. This will be her last go-round anywhere. After being elite as a college player at Michigan, internationally, Team USA, professionally in both National Pro Fast Pitch and now Athletes Unlimited. The great Amanda Chidester is retiring.
I loved hearing all of these other athletes talk about what Amanda Chidester means to them, and none of them talked about her softball abilities first. It was always about who she is as a person, what she brings to the field, the energy, the passion that she brings to the field every single day is something that has inspired the rest of these softball players here at Athletes Unlimited.
She thought that was ball 4. Last year, Chitty coming in second. And last year was Ocasio coming in first. Chidester coming in third. Star-studded leaderboard. There's Ocasio. And this year, we begin our season with the captains reflective of the way things finished off last year. The top 4 returning point totals are our captains: Chidester, Zirkle, Ocasio, and Eberly. Strikeout by Groenewegen, that is out number 2. Chidester thought she had walked earlier in the at-bat, strikes out.
Great looking off-speed pitch coming in at 49 miles per hour. Chidester tries to hold up her swing. Looks like she went right there. That pitch is so deceptive coming out of her hand. That's where you see check swings like that. When coming out of your hand, the off-speed pitch looks exactly the same as everything else you bring in there.
Erica Piancastelli called strike 1. So much of this league is international. Groenewegen, born in Canada. She is a native of the Western Province, British Columbia. Pitching to Erica Piancastelli, who spent the first 5 years of her life living in Italy. Again, off speed. Piancastelli can't stop herself.
Something that's really important to Erica Piancastelli, too, is growing the game of softball outside of the United States. One of the reasons why she was involved in the home run derby over in London, because she's trying to grow the game, softball, baseball, just trying to expand it internationally. Of course, you tack that on to what she was able to do in the Olympics as well. A lot of Olympians. Even got to talk to Greta Cicchetti's sister that flew all the way overseas to come out and support her sister here in Rosemont.
3-2. Haley McClenny began the game by singling to right. Moved to second on the sacrifice by Urtez, the strikeout by Chidester. And now 3 balls, 2 strikes to Bianca Stelli. Right to the shortstop. Abby Ramirez makes the squeeze, and the side is retired. A scoreless top of the first inning for Team Chidester.
Really hard line drive off the bat of Bianca Stelli straight to Abby Ramirez, making that one look easy for out number 3. What great weather, great softball that we have here in Rosemont, Illinois.
Team Chidester, they threaten but do not score in their half of the first inning, and now Team Ocasio heading to the bat rack. They will take their cuts against Danielle Watson.
The rookie getting the start in the circle tonight, coming out of Florida State. Somebody who is very well known for her rise ball. She likes to work up in the zone with that screwball, rise ball combination. A lot of the drop ball pitchers you see here are working to try to induce ground ball outs, but she is going up there to work the ball on the corners, up in the zone to see if she can get a ton of fly ball outs when she's in the circle.
Amanda Lorenz leads things off. Lorenz will be followed by Shannon Rhodes, Tori Vidalis, Nadia Taylor, Gwen Svekis, Alicia Ocasio, Danielle Gibson, Janae Jefferson, Abby Ramirez. Lorenz got a chip on her shoulder. Looking for a base hit. It's been hard to come by. That was the last time that she went 2 games without a knock. Didn't get a hit on Friday, didn't get one yesterday. Has been aboard 3 times. She's walked 3 times. Still looking for that first hit.
She's had a couple of uncharacteristic strikeouts, 2 strikeouts looking, somebody who has a fantastic eye up at the plate. Talk all the time about these pitchers trying to establish the strike zone early, but the hitters are trying to do the same thing as well. What sorts of calls are going to be made back there?
Up and in. 3-1 to Lorenz. Got a Seminole Gator matchup early. Watson, Florida State. Lorenz, Florida.
And the Gator back behind the plate as well with Jordan
Roberts.
Roberts.
My goodness. Three balls and 2 strikes. And Lorenz, that's the 4th time she's walked in 3 games this weekend. The defense behind Watson, really speedy. Outfield, Andrews, McClenny, Nickles. An infield of Sydney Sherrill, Florida State teammate of Danielle Watson. Anissa Urtez, Sierra Romero, Amanda Chidester with Jordan Roberts behind the plate. Both sides, Team Chidester and Team Ocasio getting the leadoff batter aboard in their half of the first. Called strike 1 to Rhodes. Oh my! No doubt about it! Shannon Rhodes, touch them all! Like a lightning bolt.
Day
40
3.
points for Rhodes and an inning win for Team Ocasio.
Day 3 of week 1 seems to be the day of the home run. Shannon Rhodes getting all of this pitch. Danielle Watson tries to bring this one inside, and she gets her barrel out in front of her. Such quick hands, quiet hands. That pitch was actually supposed to be outside. That's a missed spot, and Shannon Rhodes takes full advantage of it to give Team Ocasio the early lead.
Team Ocasio with a lot of frustration. They lost the first 2 ball games this weekend. So one swing of the bat, that's a plus 50 for Shannon Rhodes. 40 for the homer, 10 for winning the inning. 255 feet is the official measurement on the home run by Rhodes. TV Torrey. Torrey Vidalis. Two balls and a strike to Vidalis. Vidalis is the all-time leader. Athletes Unlimited play in doubles. Two and two.
It's interesting so far in this ball game. I know it's still early, but a couple of times that Danielle Watson's tried to throw the ball outside, it's actually tailed back inside to these right-handed batters. Of course, we just saw that ball leave the yard off the bat of Shannon Rhodes, but she threw another one here to Torrey Vidalis outside, then ended up coming back across the middle of the plate for a strike.
Foul third base side. A screamer off the bat of Shannon Rhodes, plating 2 runs. Called strike 3. Watson strikes out Vidalis.
This is the location that she wants to nail consistently to these right-handed batters. Curveball outside, it actually drops down in the zone just slightly, but that's the location that you want to hit. Previous couple of pitches actually tailed back inside. That one hits her spot perfectly.
Nadia Taylor. Off the end of the bat, softly to left, and that will get down, and Andrews misplays it. Taylor jogs into second. It's an interesting ruling. It's at least a single, it's possibly a double.
Almost looked like Aaliyah Andrews got kind of caught in between whether she was gonna go for it and dive for that ball or stand back and get the long hop, and because she was in between, that ball bounced and just went straight over her head and allows Nadia Taylor to move on over into scoring position.
The ruling is a single and an error on Andrews. Gwen Svekis. It's unusual weekends for Svekis. She has been part of so many winning teams in her first 2 years with Athletes Unlimited, and now 0 for 2 on the weekend. One of the things about Athletes Unlimited is you can tell by the color of the jersey the level of captain leading the team. When you're wearing gold, that's the best you can do, and that's the captain that has the most points at the beginning of the week. Now we're going back from last year. Alicia Ocasio won this whole thing in 2021, so that is why her team is wearing the gold here on opening week. Fans, it's time to earn points just for watching. If you are an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app to earn points and move up the leaderboard. To get the app downloaded today for free at your app store, get access to great AU content and experiences all season long. 3BA USB. That's your code. Ocasio, captain, puts yourself in the 6th spot in the lineup. 0-1 to Ocasio. Ocasio had one of the longer home runs we've seen all weekend. Yanked it down the right field line.
We did see another good shot in game 1 off the bat of Deja Mulipolo. Went 322 feet beyond the center field wall. Rise ball up and inside.
You know, this is an abundance of riches right now for Alicia Ocasio and Team Ocasio. They played 2 games, Friday and Saturday. They had a grand total of 2 runs in those 2 games. They've already got 2 runs here in our first inning. Two and 2 to Ocasio.
When you look at their team, when you look at their lineup, they are just stacked top to bottom. But a big reason why they lost those first 2 games is coming into game 3, there were several batters in their lineup that were still hunting for their first hit here this season. But so far, it seems like their bats are finding a way to get on base and score some runs early.
Popped up. It's going to be playable for Urtez. Side is retired, but an inning win for Team Ocasio.
Shannon Rhodes getting her squad on the board early, taking advantage of a mistake and driving that one a long way. 10 inning points for Team Ocasio, but 40 home run points for Shannon Rhodes.
A Shannon Rhodes homer, and it's a inning win for Team Ocasio. They lead Team Chidester 2-0. Second inning here in Rosemont. Mondays mean a brand new week of Athletes Unlimited action. Tomorrow, we will have drafts for both softball and lacrosse starting at 5 Eastern. Lacrosse begins play on Thursday, while softball resumes play Friday here in Rosemont. Plan your week by using auprosports.com. Let's send it down to Key.
Ruben, you are, sorry, did I scare you there? You're Abby Ramirez's dad. And my first impression of Abby when I met her, she is always smiling. Is that always the case?
That is. She's constantly smiling. She's always in a good mood. I mean, unless she strikes out and then look out. But no, but she's good at like flushing it and moving on. So she's honestly a pretty well-chilled kid. She's always in a good mood, so. Yeah.
And she's also a bit of a prankster, is that right?
Yeah, she loves to prank her friends. She loves to prank everybody in the family. She's in high school, she was known as a prankster. In college, especially in her locker room over at Michigan, she was a big prankster, so I think Sierra Romero knows a little bit about her pranking ability.
Oh man, well, we'll have to ask some of the other players if any of them got pranked as of yet. But she has a couple of former teammates now, opposition out there tonight.
Yeah, like Sierra and Chitty. They went to Michigan, and Abby played with Sierra. So, and then Haley Wagner also is out there, not this game, but the game before us. So yeah.
And how cool is it watching her now at this level? You said she started playing with the boys, and you know we weren't allowed to be on the team with them, and had to work her way up to this level. What is it like seeing her now at this level?
It's pretty cool because honestly, I mean, she played here in high school, which is really cool. And then she's a Chicago girl, you know, and lives in Chicago, and you know, for her to be a local girl around here and played in high school and then went off to Michigan, but still was able to play in the Midwest. She's got a big fan base, I guess, here in the Chicago area, so it's pretty nice.
Awesome. Well, I guess we'll see you at a lot of games then.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. I'm going to be looking out for those pranks as well. Thanks so much for being on the broadcast. Back to you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Key. You can make the argument that no one knows this field quite like Abby Ramirez. She grew up on a legendary travel ball program called the Beverly Bandits. They had a kind of a sister relationship with the Chicago Bandits, a pro team here, National Pro Fast Pitch for many years. And Abby not only played for the Beverly Bandits and used this field time and again as a high school player, and used this field as a pro player when she played for the Chicago Bandits. And now her 3rd year with Athletes Unlimited, so she knows every single blade of turf out there in front of her.
It's literally her home field. Abby Ramirez has that home field advantage out there. She's using it tonight, too, playing some shortstop. We've seen her play mostly second base when she's out there playing defense, but we know that she can play a fantastic short, playing behind Sarah Groenewegen tonight.
Sierra Romero, Abby's collegiate teammate at Michigan. Line drive single to center field, and it's been a long time coming. Sierra Romero did not have a hit in Friday or Saturday's games, and that's an eternity for a hitter like Sierra Romero.
Romero does so many things well up at the plate, but one thing that we have seen her do is go up there and attack off-speed pitches. It looks like that was what she was hunting in that at-bat. She got it, was perfectly on time, and drove it right back up the middle. Such a pitcher-perfect swing by Sierra Romero.
Here's Jordan Roberts. Roberts starting behind the plate. She's looking for her first hit of 2022. Roberts with power all across the field. In years past, we've seen her homer off her face in right center field off the scoreboard. Big scoreboard here in right center field, and a couple of years back, she hit a titanic opposite field shot right on her nose. There's that scoreboard in right center field. Wind is blowing that way, I'm just saying.
Are you trying to manifest that to happen again? Speaking it into existence?
3 balls and a strike. Groenewagen upset with something. I don't know if it was her landing spot. Yeah, right over there. I'm telling you. Probably took out a couple of light bulbs. Into right field, not nearly far enough to take her nose out. Right in front of the right field warning track. Catch is made by Ocasio, 2 down. Romero has to go to first.
For a second there off the bat, I thought it was about to happen. It went that direction. She heard you talking about it, tried to take that one opposite field, but a bit underneath it. And Ocasio again showing off her versatility. One of the best defenders when she's in the circle, but also plays a phenomenal right field.
Here's Sydney Sherrill. On the ground, base hit to left field. Sydney Sherrill keeps the inning alive. First hit of her season. She's now 1 for 3.
Really nice swing by Sherrill too. Outside pitch, aggressive early in the count. I like that, going up there with the aggressive mindset, especially for these rookies. Drives that one through the 5-6 hole for an easy base hit.
So Romero a single, Sherrill a single. Runners at first and at second for Aaliyah Andrews. Andrews, one of those slappers who has struggled so far in opening weekend of AU play. Just 1 for 6 so far through 2 games.
Groenewagen throwing her outside, and typically when you've got 2 runners on board with that force over at third, you want to funnel the slappers to hit it to your shortstop and to your third baseman, and she's staying right on that outside corner. Goes to it again, not getting those calls outside. Those are really close pitches. Watching those come in there, it looks like they might be clipping just that front part of the strike zone, but 2 of those called for balls.
Delayed call, Groenewagen will take it. 2-2. Off speed, Andrews able to top it foul.
Off-speed pitches are especially hard for slappers because they're already moving through the box, so they have to do a good job of slowing down their feet and keeping their hands back behind them to give them a chance to make contact with those off-speed pitches.
Oh, self-defense swing, right back to Groenewagen. Side is retired. No runs, couple of hits, 2 runners left on. When we come back, it'll be Danielle Gibson, followed by Janae Jefferson and Abby Ramirez.
She's the future of the game. She's the future of the game, and I don't say that lightly at all. She is a special type of kid, a special type of talent. The sky's the limit for her. Like, I have no doubt that, like, at one point she will be the best softball player in the world. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Compliment. What a massive compliment. Haley McClenny, who was in that short conversation for the best player right now in the world, saying that Janae Jefferson will one day be the best player in the world.
That's incredibly high praise coming from somebody like Haley McClinney. And it seems like Janae Jefferson is fully taking advantage of being teammates with Haley McClinney, soaking up all of that knowledge, being able to play with all these athletes here at Athletes Unlimited. It just seems like she is somebody that is having so much fun playing the game of softball.
Danielle Gibson leads things off. Danielle Gibson will always be connected to Janae Jefferson. Her college career ending in a super regional against Texas. Gibson finishing her college experience at Arkansas, after playing 1 year at Arizona State. Chopper. Watson. One down. So here comes Janae Jefferson. She made an impression on Haley McClinney playing for Team USA in the World Games. There's a whole bunch of players here in Chicago that were part of that gold medal team down in Birmingham.
So much fun to be able to play with some of the players that maybe you didn't get an opportunity to play against or play with in college just because of the age difference between them, but you can soak up so much knowledge as a player. I feel like we talk a lot about how players continue to get better after their college careers end, and I think it's because being able to talk to athletes like Haley McClinney, talk to athletes like Hannah Flippen, you pick up little things that they do well that's brought them to this point in their career, and you can add that to your game to continue to grow what you do on the softball field. So she's somebody that has so much potential. She's got the speed, she's got the power, and she plays a great second base as well.
Danielle Watson, the 1-1 to Jefferson. Fouling out of play. Well, Madison Shipman, I think you have something in common with Janae Jefferson. You both finished your college experience and then went immediately into pro ball. Janae Jefferson playing with the best of the best. You played in National Pro Fast Pitch and played with Caitlin Lowe and Natasha Watley and played against, the names of the day. What is it like being the youngest player on a roster and every single day seeing these players and performing well with those players?
It's so much fun. You just can't help but to show up to the field with a smile on your face because of the greats that are playing on the field with you. I had the opportunity to play with Danielle Laurie, to play with Kat Osterman, Kelly Kretschmann, Andrea Duran. The list goes on and on. All of the players that I watched growing up that I wanted to be like on the field, and I had the opportunity to play with them in the NPF. I always wanted to play shortstop to the level of Natasha Watley, so being able to play with her on the same team and be at practice with her and watch the way that she moved to balls, little things that she would help me out to get to the ball just slightly quicker. You just love those moments, those practice times, even car rides to the field where you're taking full advantage of the opportunity playing with Olympians, playing with people that have played at such a high level for such a long time.
On the ground, that'll get through. It's a base hit for Jefferson. Janae Jefferson gets herself a base hit. That's the first of many here in the pro game for Janae Jefferson.
Great at bat too, fouling off pitches down the left field line and finally pulls one through that 3-4 hole. Reaching base safely. Love to see her teammates celebrating with her as she reached base. Amanda Lorenz, Maggie Pallant, Shannon Rhodes, Gwen Svekis, all sharing in the excitement after that base hit.
I don't know if something happened to Sierra Romero, but they're going to throw the ball out and make sure that it's a keepsake for Janae Jefferson. Congratulations. That should be old hat for her, man. The numbers she put up when she was in college at Texas. Finished with 362 hits, 7th most in the history of college softball. 362 for Janae Jefferson. Had 92 of them this season alone. Good God.
Just amazing. Sis Bates over in the dugout looked like keeping the ball warm for her too. It does look to be like, oh, there she is, there. Keeping that ball safe. Does look like Sierra Romero's okay. I wonder if maybe on the dive in the 3-4 hole trying to stop that ball, maybe knock the wind out of her a bit.
Abby Ramirez, hot shot to left field. Chicago's own Abby Ramirez her first base hit of 2022.
She knows this field so well, and she knows if you hit the ball hard on the ground, it can easily skip through that 5-6 hole. She does exactly that. And back-to-back base hits for Team Ocasio.
Back to the top of the order, and Amanda Lorenz. Wouldn't this be a perfect time for Lorenz to get her first hit of the season? Done a good job getting on base. She's walked 4 times, but still does not have a hit. Team Ocasio won the first inning by scoring 2 times. If they score just 1 run here in the second, they'll win the second. Hammered right in the tracks of the right fielder, Bubba Nickles. Man, you can't hit it any harder. And Jefferson able to make it over to third on the throw, and that was closer than it needed to be. What a throw by Nickles.
And what a slide by Janae Jefferson, too. A bit of a matrix move trying to avoid that tag by Sydney Sherrill. Tough luck for Amanda Lorenz. Hit this one on the nose over to Bubba Nickles, who fires it back in. Smart by Janae Jefferson to tag up and advance to third. Make that a solid, productive out.
All right, Danielle Watson goes through the first 10 batters of the game, but she gives up back-to-back singles and then a laser beam by Amanda Lorenz. We're going to have a pitching change. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is when we come back to Rosemont. Bottom of the second inning, Team Ocasio is threatening. Runners on at second and at third. We got Shannon Rhodes coming up with a pitching change. Next WNBA game, it's an intergalactic matchup. You got the Sun and the Mercury. It's Thursday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN2 and the app. I was going to play on Tuesday night. The Sun, they've already clinched a playoff spot. Mercury, they're fighting for a playoff spot. Final couple of weeks of the regular season. Mariah Masson is the pitcher. She has pitched in all 3 games over the weekend for Team Chidester. The pride of Oregon State went to the Women's College World Series with the Beavers this past spring.
And I like this pitching change, too, because Shannon Rhodes already hit a home run off of Danielle Watson, so they're wanting to change things up a bit by bringing in Masson. She's going to bring the ball with the high velocity, high 60s, even touch 70 miles per hour. She works all parts of the strike zone. She's also got an off-speed pitch, but the pitch that I really like, too, is the drop ball that she's been working. Comes in there 67, 68 miles per hour. A really difficult pitch to get good barrel on.
Moments ago, how about Janae Jefferson making herself small? Oh!
The athletic ability that she has when she's out on the field, there is no way that I would be able to do that move without hurting something. So for her to be able to slide in safely, avoid the tag, so impressive.
.40 points, 1 swing of the bat for Shannon Rhodes an inning ago. Oh my goodness. Thinking about laying down a bunt on a high riser, and it's fouled back to the screen. Not going to try that again, down in the count 0-2.
Pitch up and inside. Tries to get her barrel on top, and really at the last minute tries to pull it back, knowing it's going to be a ball, but not able to get the bat out of the way in time.
So you homer an inning ago and think about a sneak attack bunt next time up.
Well, the infield's playing really deep on her, too, and she's got some wheels. She's trying to exploit the fact that the corners are playing back behind the bases. It's always tough for an infield, too, because if you play in against somebody like Shannon Rhodes, you know just how much power they have. They can easily blast the ball by you, so then you want to respect that power, and you play back, and then they try to drop down a sneaky bunt.
Masson trying to get back into that dugout. Ball and 2 strikes. Roberts tried to give her the call. Tried to frame it on the outer edge. Didn't work. 2-2.
pulled the string a bit on that off-speed pitch. I like the location of the pitch before, too. Drop ball outside, just barely missing outside that strike zone. Called for a ball, decides to bring it back in just a tad, but dropping it down in velocity. So that when Shannon Rhodes swung, she was out in front. Foul ball brings the count even.
On the ground, shortstop Urtez. Throw is high, but Chidester stays on the bag. No panic at all for Urtez or Chidester. Masson comes out of the pen, does her job, retires Shannon Rhodes. No damage done. Two to nothing lead. Team Ocasio trying to win for the first time this weekend. Top of the third inning. Team Ocasio leading 2-0. Center fielder Shannon Rhodes. Home run back in the first inning. It's been a busy summer for Alicia Ocasio, playing in the World Games in Birmingham with Team Puerto Rico. We told you about the players for Team USA. Also 3 representatives here in Rosemont from Team Canada.
What a great way to prepare for Athletes Unlimited by playing against some of the top competition in the world in those World Games in Birmingham. Of course, Team USA coming out with the gold, beating Japan in that gold medal game. And what a moment for Haley McClenny, the MVP of the 2022 World Games.
McClenny leads things off here in the third inning. She singled in the first and was stranded at second when the inning came to an end. Hey, we're gonna have a chair chat with Sachel Palacio. Sachel is hanging out with us. How you doing, Sachel?
I'm good, how are you?
Fantastic. Uh-oh. We're just making sure you're on your toes. Sachel, you're with Team Ocasio this week. You guys have had a couple of tough luck losses. You haven't gotten the offense going. What's been the mood in the dugout and in between games trying to stay positive?
I think honestly every game we keep ready to go. I think today there's a little more focus and just like letting loose and having fun. There's nothing to lose. We're out here on this beautiful Sunday playing softball together.
We apologize, we're having trouble with Sachel's microphone. We're going to get back to her when we get that rectified. We don't want to blow out her eardrums. First time today that McClenny has been retired. That's the first out here in our third inning.
Ground ball over the left side and a really good pick by Danielle Gibson over at first base too. That throw down in the dirt, stuck with it for out number 1.
Here's Anissa Urtez. She homered her first 2 games this weekend. Laid down a perfect sacrifice back in the first inning. Sacrifices pay out too. She got a +10 for that bunt. Talked to people that saw Urtez play travel ball growing up and play for 4 years at Utah, and they always remark about what a wonderful player she is, but the way that she's changed her body over the years. She is one of the strongest players. Works year-round to get that type of result. Opposite field laser beam, and it's going to be extra bases for Urtez. 3 games, 3 extra base hits for Urtez.
Coming into this season, Anissa Urtez felt that this was the most prepared she has ever felt for an Athletes Unlimited season. She'd been playing professionally over in Japan. She felt so ready to come out and swing the bat well here in Rosemont, and she has done exactly that, spraying the ball all over the field. And that double right there is good for an additional 20 points for Anissa Urtez.
Anissa Urtez has not been part of a winning team. I apologize, she is 1-1 so far, but she's gotten the majority of her points because of the way she's swinging the bat. She has been so impressive.
And it's crazy to think, too, that Team Chidester had 6 combined home runs in the first 2 games that they had played, but they actually lost at game 1 despite hitting 3 home runs. So you'd imagine that the game plan coming into yesterday's game was, hey, we're going to hit the ball, but we're going to win this game. And they did exactly that, trying to see if they can come back from being 2 runs down here in the top of the third.
Amanda Chidester. Nadia Taylor smothers it. Will not have a play. Urtez can't move up. It'll be runners on at first and at second.
The corner is respecting the power for Amanda Chidester. You can see where Nadia Taylor starts off and gets caught in between hops. That one took a really long second hop. I think she would have been better off maybe taking a step back, taking the long hop and firing it across the diamond. But because she took that half step up, gets caught in between.
It scored an error on Taylor, so no base hit for Chidester. Chidester comes around to score. It'll be considered an unearned run against Groenewagen. Erica Piancastelli hit the ball hard her first time up, lined out to the shortstop Ramirez. That happens so frequently. A foul ball off the body of the hitter.
Usually it's an immediate reminder that either that pitch was a ball or we needed to make an adjustment with our barrel going through the pitch. A lot of times that happened to me on drop balls low and inside. I was not getting my barrel down enough to that pitch. So the harsh reminder straight into the foot or the ankle that I needed to make an adjustment.
Take a look at the lineup card for Team Chidester. The top 6 batters, 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 5 batters in the lineup all played on Olympic teams last summer. 3 Americans, the Italian Piancastelli and Ortez, who played for Mexico. They're all batting against a team player from Canadian national team, Sarah Groenewagen.
So much international experience here at Athletes Unlimited.
Sixth and final game of week 1. Championship season, Athletes Unlimited softball. Oh my goodness, Nadia Taylor robs Piancastelli, 2 down.
What a great way to bounce back from the error on the play before with this diving catch down the line. Piancastelli with her second line drive today. That one over to Nadia Taylor. A great jump, watches that one all the way in. A fantastic play by the third baseman.
2 down. Piancastelli robbed. Ball gets away from the catcher Svekis. And both Ortez and Chidester pick up an extra base. Called a wild pitch. Now a base hit, could play 2. Bubba Nickles, an opportunity. Nickles played last year about half the season here with Athletes Unlimited. Was over in Tokyo playing for Team USA over in the Olympics, came back, had a little bit of time off, and then was asked to come in as a late replacement, and she was available to do it, so she came in. She does have experience here on this field and playing with this format.
And she's been hitting the ball really well too. This is what she did earlier this week. Smacked it over the left field wall. Got every bit on this swing. 235 feet. Her first home run of the season, good for 40 points on the leaderboard.
2-0, good hitting count. High drive down the left field line, foul territory. And Lorenz runs out of room. Bubba Nickles, one of the best high school players ever. Gatorade National Player of the Year, her senior year in high school. It was just a massive get for UCLA. Her senior year, one of her practices was interrupted when Jenny Finch just showed up unannounced to hand her her National Player of the Year award. And now Bubba Nickles playing in a ball game in a ballpark that's located on 27 Jenny Finch Way.
What a full circle moment too. That had to have been a really special time to see Jenny Finch walking up to present her with that award.
High drive again down the left field line, and this one is gone. A homer, a 3-run homer, Bubba Nickles. She is locked in.
How about that swing by Bubba Nickles? 2 home runs in as many games, both to the left side. This one, a 3-run shot. Up in the zone, gets her barrel out in front of her. The pitch before fouled it down the left field line. This one, she keeps her hands inside just long enough to keep that ball fair. Great swing by Nickles there.
Bubba Nickles is now 5 for 8 in her first weekend here with Athletes Unlimited in 2022. From a personal standpoint, that homer doesn't bother Sarah Gronewagen. All of those runs are unearned because of the error by Nadia Taylor. There should have been 3 outs already, and everyone for Team Ocasio should be in the dugout. So instead of a negative 30, giving up 3 earned runs, it's a wash. But now for Team Chidester, they lead 3-2.
I was going to say, with just one swing of the bat, all of a sudden Team Chidester now has the lead. They're the team that's known for the home run ball, and the home run ball again coming into play, taking the lead in the top of the 3rd inning. Also some inning rollover points here in the 3rd.
Sierra Romero. Pop-up. Jefferson makes the play in foul territory. Side is retired. But it's a 3-run home run by Bubba Nickles. She keeps on keeping on. 3-2. Team Chidester leads Team Ocasio. We've got a combined 5 runs as we play the bottom of the 3rd inning. Team Chidester leads Team Ocasio 3-2. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Entering today, Aspiration has committed 9,930 trees across all Athletes Unlimited sports. After today, it's going to be 10,000 trees. Bubba Nickles, 3-run home run just a moment ago. Chance for an inning win for Team Chidester. Doesn't she look locked in? Bubba Nickles, so confident at the plate. Everything is just rocketing off her bat.
And I think it's because she looks like she's just playing free. She's playing, having so much fun. You can often tell sometimes when people go up to the plate when they have the weight of the world on their shoulders, when they are putting too much pressure on themselves to get that result, and you're just not seeing that out of Bubba Nickles. I have been looking forward to seeing this matchup, though, between Tori Vidalis up at the plate and against Mariah Mason in the circle. Mason coming into AUX in week 2. The very first pitch that she threw was to Tori Vidalis, and she hit it over the left field wall. What a welcome to Athletes Unlimited by Tori Vidalis for her roommate, Mariah Mason.
Softly into left field, Andrews makes the play. So a bit of revenge for Mason. Mariah came out of the pen with 2 outs an inning ago and got Shannon Rhodes to bounce to short. She now retires Vidalis. Next in line, Nadia Taylor. I was talking to Nadia's dad last night. And I've told this story for years and years and years, and I think it's just a magnificent story. Nadia was born in Texas, and her parents were just transfixed with the name Nadia Comaneci, who was a Romanian gymnast who got the first perfect 10 in the 1976 Olympics up in Montreal. Off the end of the bat, Masson throws out Nadia Taylor. So when they had Nadia, they said, you know what, we love that name. It's unique, it's athletic, it's fun. So not only did they name Nadia Taylor Nadia after Nadia Comaneci, that's where I thought the story ended. Her middle name is actually Jamanic. It's like a version of, they put like a J-A in front of it, but they actually kind of pinched the Comaneci. So she's really Nadia Jamanic Taylor. So her first name and her second name, her middle name, are both nods to the great Romanian gymnast.
Well, and her dad just kept telling us how much he loved the name
Yes.
Nadia. Loved that story, loved the enthusiasm, had her parents on the broadcast yesterday talking to Key Michael in the stands. They were fantastic. Have always enjoyed watching Nadia compete out on the field. Even better when she makes diving catches over at third like she did already in this ball game.
Here's your Geico leaderboard. Gwen Svekis hopped to short her first time up. Svekis and Team Ocasio in danger of losing both the second inning and the third inning. No one scored in the second inning, so the 10 points for the second inning rolled over into the third. This is a 20-point inning, and already 3 runs scored for Team Chidester, so Team Ocasio is on the ropes in terms of these 20 inning points. Masson, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Svekis works the 2-out walk. The first base runner allowed by Masson.
Close pitches, both that one and the pitch before. Drop ball, she tried to get it called for a strike outside, then works the ball inside. Not sure where those ones are missing, but if anybody on this field knows the strike zone, it is Gwen Svekis.
Agreed. Alicia Ocasio, the captain this week for Team Ocasio, will bat. Hop to short her first time up. We may see her pitch, who knows? She was very effective in yesterday's game. Off the end of the bat, Urtez spun around, makes the play. Side is retired. It is an inning win for Team Chidester. They win the second and the third, courtesy of the home run by Bubba Nickles.
Gibby, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. Oh, once there, one. I was trying to get out of your way, I went the wrong way. Is that your first pro hit? Hey! Atta girl. That's awesome.
Abby Ramirez, not only a wonderful player, but a great teammate as well, and everyone's excited for Janae Jefferson, first of many. Just so many expectations for Jefferson. She's been impressive, not only playing internationally this summer with Team USA, the World Games, but here in scrimmages in the first week of play. It's fun to see a young player get an opportunity to flourish.
Definitely a rookie that a lot of these veterans were looking forward to getting the opportunity to playing with. Love getting those in-game mic'd up access videos. Get to hear what those players are communicating throughout these ball games. Of course, when it comes to game strategy, but also one of the things that makes Athletes Unlimited so much fun is these players having the opportunity to play with different teams every single week. So you're not just competing against the same teams every game.
Lashed off the wall. Oh my, Jordan Roberts hit it so hard she's only gonna get a single. Jordan Roberts rockets a single off the wall and left.
Flew out to right field in her last at-bat. This one off speed, up in the zone, and she turns on it. Hits it right on the money, off the top of the wall. A good throw in by her former teammate, Amanda Lorenz, to hold her to just a single.
The players in the players' suite, they were ducking. Do you see that? They were cowering. That ball was hit so hard. Some of the best softball players in the world wanted no part of that laser beam by Jordan Roberts. All right, so a good start to the fourth inning for Team Chidester. We'll have a runner. It's Aubrey Leach coming in. Bit of a surprise. We haven't seen Leach get a start so far this weekend. She was always in the starting lineup back in 2020 when she played in this league. Didn't play last year. And now coming into the league this year, she's been coming off the bench at least through the first week.
We've seen her taking a lot of warm-up ground balls over at third base, too. Typically known as a second baseman, but she's been fielding a lot of ground balls with Sydney Sherrill over at third.
Yeah, tomorrow you got the Boston Red Sox taking on the Houston Astros. We're getting a 3-game series in Houston's Minute Maid Park. 8 Eastern, 7 Central on ESPN and the app. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 6 Central with baseball tonight.
There's a pitch runner on the field for Team Chidester, number 75, Aubrey Leach.
Okay, so we got Leach on at first base. Nobody out. Rona Wagon will face Sydney Sherrill. Sherrill from Moore, Oklahoma. Got away from Big 12 country, played at Florida State for 5 years. She holds the ACC record for most doubles in a career. Take a guess how many doubles she had.
Oof. Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I know she leads in doubles. Roughly 80? Around the
82!
80s? 82.
Oh my goodness. You're unbelievable. 82 doubles for Sydney Sherrill. 43 homers. Good golly. What else you want? And widely considered to be the best defensive third baseman you're going to see. Part of a Rawlings Gold Glove team this year. 3-time ACC Defensive Player of the Year. And that's stepping in some pretty big shoes. She replaced Jessie Warren at the hot corner at Florida State.
When you just listen to her talk about her confidence that she has in her defensive abilities, it's no surprise that she plays such a solid third base. Always seems to be in the right position when the ball's hit to her. And such quick reactions, and she has no fear over there too. I think that's a factor that makes a third baseman great, is being able to play up against some of these triple threat lefty batters, but also be able to play back behind the bag with some of your more power hitters. So having that versatility to play both up and back is what makes her so great.
Into center field, play made by Shannon Rhodes. Sherrill hit it well, nothing to benefit from it. That's now the first out. All right, we're going to have a substitution. We're expecting to see Aaliyah Andrews, but she'll be called back to the dugout. And this will be Allie Harrell. Allie Harrell from Marshall, just like Morgan Zirkle, native of Columbus, Ohio. May actually, this is an unbelievable compliment. She may have been a better student than a softball player. She was a whale of a softball player at Marshall. Biology major, chemistry minor. Was first team on the Senior Class Award, which is classroom and community to go along with athletic ability.
Now you put me on the spot with the trivia question with Sydney Sherrill, so I'm going to put you on the spot with the trivia question for Allie Harrell. She has an incredible eye up at the plate. Do you know how many career walks she had while she was at Marshall?
I have right in front of me her on base percentage is .562. I'm going to guess 168 walks.
175. 175 career walks for Allie Harrell.
That's a whole bunch.
So impressive.
Man. How about this for impressive, since we're pulling on factoids about Allie Harrell? She's a lifetime Girl Scout. I want to talk to her. We got to get her in a chair chat. She's a lifetime Girl Scout, just believes in it. It was a big part of her life. And that's her quote, I'm a lifetime Girl Scout. My obvious question, which is your favorite flavor of Girl Scout cookie? Double play! How about that? Abby Ramirez starts the double play. She touches the bag at second, on to first in time to double up Harrell.
My favorite Girl Scout cookie might be a tag-along, but the favorite ground ball double play for these pitchers are the ones right back up the middle. Abby Ramirez with the 6-3 double play to end the inning.
A potential inning win for Team Ocasio if they can score. Team Chidester leads Team Ocasio 3-2. Bottom of the fourth inning. The Unlimited Club provides great benefits, including voting on league decisions, interaction with players, signed items, and more. For more information or to join today, go to auprosports.com. Let's check in with Key.
Shane, Erica Piancastelli's boyfriend. Hi. First of all, welcome to the AU family. Second of all, how cool is it seeing your girlfriend out there on this big stage?
Oh, I love it. Just the vibe of having everybody else come out and watch, and seeing her play her best and enjoy it. It's been great. It's been fun.
She's played on some pretty big stages.
Oh, yeah.
Not only the Olympics last summer, but also
MLBX.
the MLB Derby.
Yeah, so she just participated in that. That was in London. Next, we'll be out in Seoul. But really, just the whole idea of it is just to bring the awareness of the game out in other countries outside of the U.S. and it gives fans a chance to kind of see the legends as well as people who are up and coming. So it's great fun and enjoyed it.
So cool that she got to be a part of that. But being a part of that meant that you guys got to go over to Europe, go to Italy for a little while, and I feel like dating an Italian woman, you've kind of got to have an appreciation for the finer things in life. How was it over there in Italy?
Oh, it was great. It was hard to explain it. We've got pizza was always the best. Pasta. The balsamic vinegar in Modena, where she's from.
In Modena.
So good. Everything. Just food was. Oh yeah, I couldn't get enough of it.
I feel like I could see you living in Italy one day.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely up for it. I'd definitely be up for it.
If you guys could choose one place or one thing to do for the rest of your lives together, what would it be?
Be on a beach somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Enjoying the waves and.
Italy's got a few of them.
Oh yeah. There's lots of places. So.
Awesome. Well, I love that you're here. I love that you're supporting her, and thanks so much for being on the broadcast.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks so
Alrighty,
much.
back to you guys.
I like him. Friend of the program. We got to have him on again. Our guy Shane. Man, energetic, so much fun. Out number 1, Danielle Gibson strikes out. It's Janae Jefferson. Jefferson, first time up, got a single. First professional base hit. Looking for number 2. That's foul.
I feel like a common theme with Key's interviews today has all been around food, especially Italian food.
Yes.
It's making me hungry up here in the booth. Craving some pizza now.
Have you had Chicago-style pizza since we are here in the Chicagoland area?
I have. It's been several years, but I have had Chicago-style pizza. It is very good.
Softly, right side. Oh, man, Jefferson makes everything bang, bang.
That speed just puts pressure on the defense. Even a routine ground ball to second base, you have to make it in a hurry. She can easily leg that one out for an infield base hit.
I'll let you in on a secret here. People who live in Chicago, more often than not, when they get pizza, they get thin. They get thin crust pizza. It's the out-of-towners, when they come into town, that all want the deep dish. Now, deep dish is wonderful, don't get me wrong. But if you're just a regular Chicagoan, on a Friday night, you order pizza, you're getting a thin crust pizza.
I would have to say, I think I prefer thin crust pizza.
With the cornmeal bottom, that's what it is here in Chicago.
See, now we're talking pizza. Now we're really going to get hungry.
And my one last factoid is if someone says, oh, you want a pizza? And they say it's Chicago style. What would you think Chicago style pizza would be in terms of toppings on top of your pizza?
Oh, I just think of a deep dish. That's what's, come to mind right now. I'm not even going to the
and
topping.
It would be with sausage, peppers, and onions.
Ooh.
And the cheese goes on top of that. A lot of times you have the toppings on top of the cheese, but not here in Chicago.
I was going to say, in my mind, I'm just seeing cheese on top, but that's because all the goodies are underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's your tutorial on Chicago pizza.
Love it.
Yeah. Abby Ramirez, she'll back me up on that. Lifetime Chicagoan. Assistant coach at DePaul after a wonderful career at Michigan. And that's off of Abby's body when she was still in the batter's box, so it's a foul ball.
Taking another look at it here. Hard to tell from that angle, but it did look like it hit one of her legs while she was still in that batter's box.
Abby singled her first time up. Did she go too far? Yes, she did. I'll tell you what, Mariah Masson has done a really good job. She's come out of the pen. She has already struck out a pair. She has not allowed a run. She's done a real good job. We'll be back, everyone. Chicago, Illinois on a Sunday night, last day of July.
Alicia Ocasio is one of the most dynamic athletes here at Athletes Unlimited and the reigning AU 2021 champion. And this is one of the reasons why her ability to move the ball so well through the zone. She has great downward bite on her drop ball. She'll mix in a rise ball every once in a while, and she seems to be at the top of her game here in this 2022 season.
So Ocasio comes in, third consecutive day, 7 innings of work, 8 hits, just 2 earned runs allowed. 64 points via the pitching. Hey, let's finish the book on Sarah Gronewagen. Gronewagen pitched the first 4 innings. She gave up 3 runs, but none of them were earned. So she gets 12 outs. That's 12 plus 4. She got 48 points. Pretty good job.
Yeah, really just that one major mistake to Bubba Nickles, that 3-run shot. Other than that, threw really well out there in the circle, setting the table nicely for Ocasio to come in here.
Top of the order, Haley McClenny. McClenny, Urtez, Chidester batting in the 5th inning. Got a new right fielder. Northwestern's own Rachel Lewis. Lewis from Cincinnati, Ohio. Rookie just finished her college playing days at Northwestern. I don't believe Lewis has an at-bat yet, does she?
We've seen her quite a bit defensively so far in these first 3 games. Definitely one of the strongest athletes here. Loves to be in the weight room. Big fan of CrossFit too. A couple of athletes here are big fans of CrossFit. I know Aubrey Leach loves CrossFit. One of the facilitators, Tatum Edwards, is a big CrossFit fan as well.
I keep waiting for Tatum Edwards to go foul pole to foul pole on her hands. I've seen her do that in years past. Softly right side, Jefferson throws out McClenny by a whisker. Good internal clock by Jefferson to know how much time she needed.
McClenny just explodes out of the box. This is a drop ball. She rolls over, immediately buries her head, hustles down the first baseline, but a solid play by Jefferson to get her former USA teammate out.
Well, the only player in the history of Athletes Unlimited to have the initials AU, Anissa Urtez. We're talking all sports. Basketball, volleyball, lacrosse. The only AU, Anissa Urtez. Something cosmic about that. Maybe this is her year to win the whole championship. That's off the glove of the first baseman, Gibson. And with 1 out, we've got a runner aboard.
Pretty hard hit ground ball down the first baseline, but I definitely think that's a ball that Danielle Gibson needs to field, especially when you've got somebody up at the plate like Anissa Urtez, who's swinging such a hot bat. If you have the opportunity to get them out, you want to try to take advantage of it. That one skips off of her glove down that first baseline, and a runner on now with 1 away.
If I was the official score, I'd be more prone to give Gibson an error than I would the third baseman on a similar play. Just because Gibson really just needed to do whatever to knock it down and then could step on first.
Yeah, exactly right. Just knock it down, keep it in front, because you have so much time to be able to get that force out over at first base.
Amanda Chidester. On the ground, could be 2. Taylor to second for 1, on the first, not in time. Chitty still runs well, and the inning continues.
Really close play over at first. Chidester hustled straight out of the batter's box, hit well over to Nadia Taylor, whose back foot slips a little when she went to throw that ball over to 2, still able to get the lead runner out, but I wonder if that slight slip with her right foot is what helped Chidester just barely beat out that throw down the first baseline.
Erica Biancastelli has had no luck. She's hit 2 bullets today. One into the shortstop Ramirez's glove, the other one into the third baseman Taylor's glove. 2 screamers, no luck. She's probably gonna hit a little flare here. A little dying quail, and it's gonna land. That's just the way softball works, right?
Well, and that's where it's so important as a hitter to just stick to the process. You're hitting the ball right on the money. It's just happening to go right to defenders. You don't want to change much when you step up to the batter's box. Just keep doing what you're doing. She's been swinging the bat really well so far in week 1. She has that big load with her front side. You notice she picks up that front leg, but every single time it's calm and controlled. It's not out of control. She has the same rhythm for every single pitch. There it is. Loading up all of that power into her back leg so that she can drive through with great extension.
When hitters close their front foot like Bianca Stelli, does that? Now, we'll talk about that at a later time. We've got Bubba Nickles coming to the plate. Folks, Bubba Nickles is red hot right now.
Well, this is what she did back in the third inning, a pitch up in the zone. She hit a similar pitch, even further foul the pitch before, but this one keeps her hands inside enough to drive this one fair. 302 feet, good for 40 points.
That was the hardest hit ball we've seen this weekend. Exit velocity of 84 miles per hour. What a team that Amanda Chidester has put together. Bunch of bombers. 7 total homers. The rest of the league, same amount.
And we talked about Chidester's strategy, draft strategy coming into this first week. She waited until the 4th round to draft a pitcher. She really went hitter heavy. And with all these home run balls, it seems to be paying off for her so far.
Nickles off balance by Ocasio, down in the count, 0-2. Tough play for Taylor. Infield single for Nickles. The ball hasn't left the infield here in this inning, and we've got the bases loaded for Team Chidester.
Tough break for Ocasio and a tough break for Nadia Taylor on that one too. Playing deep, knowing that it was a 2-strike count. Bubba Nickles has such a powerful swing, and Ocasio goes again with the off-speed pitch. Nickles was out in front, hits it off the end of the bat, but because the corners were playing so deep, she was able to leg that one out.
The greatest hitter with the bases loaded ever, Sierra Romero, is in the right-handed batter's box. Romero had 11 Grand Slam home runs in her college career, by far and away the most in the history of college softball. Woo!
She was going for the Grand Slam with that swing too. I love to see it. It's amazing the amount of times that Sierra Romero comes up to bat with the bases loaded. As well, a couple of times already in week 1 that she's come up.
Game hanging in the balance. Team Chidester leading by a run. It's getting late. 5th inning. This inning is worth 20 points. Got runners on at every base. Chidester, Bianca Stelli, Nickles, Ocasio, the 0-2. Oh my goodness. What a pitch that was. That thing had hair on it. Alicia Ocasio strikes out Sierra Romero. No damage done.
Team got into a little bit of a jam, but she pulls the string on this off-speed pitch to get Sierra Romero looking to end the inning.
Amanda Lorenz still looking for her first base hit of the weekend, but folks, she has earned her keep with the glove in her hand.
So it's a fantastic catch out in left field. Look at the distance that she travels to come down with this one. 51 feet running out towards that outfield wall. Great catch. We know what she can do up at the plate. I feel like we don't talk about her defensively a ton, but right there, a great jump and a clutch catch for her team last night.
Lorenz will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Golden opportunity for Team Ocasio. They're only down 1 run. This inning is worth 20 points. Mariah Masson still in the game. She came on with 2 out in the second inning, and she has not been touched upon. She's thrown zeros up on the board. This will be the 9th batter she faces. It'll be Lorenz, Rhodes, and Vidalis. Mazzone played for one of the legends of fast pitch, Laura Berg, head coach at Oregon State. You talk to a lot of people in the game of softball and say, who's the best outfielder you ever seen defensively? And Laura Berg is always in that short conversation.
Had an incredible year this past year at Oregon State as well, making it all the way to the World Series. A two-way player in her own right. She can really swing it up at the plate, something we have not seen yet here in this championship season. But we know from talking to a lot of these hitting pitchers that it's definitely an advantage at Athletes Unlimited, being able to have another way where you can rack up those individual stat points.
I remember last year talking to Carrie Eberly, and she was actually planning on trying to hit. She got in a bat late in the season, but earned all of her points as a pitcher. It's amazing how many times Amanda Lorenz has been able to walk so far. She's got her second walk today. She's walked 5 times over the weekend. And now the leadoff batter on here in the 5th inning. Shannon Rhodes homered back in the 1st inning. Will she think about a bunt here just to move Lorenz into scoring position? Nope. Goes right side, and it's going to be through and a right. Look at Lorenz go. She's on her way to 3rd. She is out. The question was whether or not Sydney Sherrill was able to hang on, and she did. This may be a captain's challenge. It's getting late, and it's a crucial call. You might as well take a longer look. So it's an instantaneous captain's challenge for Team Ocasio.
It looks like if Sherrill hangs on to it there, she's definitely out. I think that glove got her foot before she reached 3rd base. What a play by Sherrill at 3rd.
It's amazing that Lorenz didn't kick the ball out of her glove.
The call on the field is out, and the call is confirmed.
Rachel Palmer, our replay official, with a quick confirmation, and that is the 1st out. Long-time rule in softball, never make the 1st or the 3rd out at 3rd base, and that just happened.
Another great play by Bubba Nickles out right field, too. That ball was hit hard. It actually skipped off of Sierra Romero at 2nd base, out to Bubba Nickles in right. She came up firing all the way to 3rd base, and that tag by Sydney Sherrill, I think, is what made the difference on that one. Being able to hang on to the ball, too, with Amanda Lorenz sliding straight into her. You got to take another look at it here. Charging hard, knows where she's going with this ball before it's even hit to her, and the tag sticking with it all the way. A nice job by the rookie 3rd baseman.
Tori Vidalis way out in front. 0-2 Vidalis against Mazzone. AU all-time leader in career doubles, Tori Vidalis. It scored a single for Shannon Rhodes. She moved to 2nd on the throw. So Rhodes has had a 2-hit day. The homer back in the 1st inning and the single here in the 5th. Starting to get comfortable. Off the end of the bat, that'll get down. They're going to send Rhodes around 3rd. Andrews throw, not in time. We are tied at 3. It's an inning win for Team Ocasio.
A great jump off of 2nd base by Shannon Rhodes. All of her teammates congratulating her after she scores on that hit out to left field. Hit off the end of the bat by Tori Vidalis, dropped in front of Aaliyah Andrews, comes up, fires it home, just not in time. Look at the slide by Shannon Rhodes too. She got some real distance after she swiped home plate.
What a heck of a throw by Andrews. That was a strike. But a run scores to tie the game at 3, and it is a crucial inning win for Team Ocasio. It's a rollover inning, so they win a +20. Team Ocasio won the first inning, and they win innings 4 and 5. Rachel Lewis will pinch run for Vidalis. Nadia Taylor. Off the thumbs, off the glove! Base hit for Taylor, and Lewis skids her way into third.
Next up, the catcher, number 21.
Taylor gets jammed up on this swing, but we talk about how strong she is. That's a great example of just how much strength and power she gets into every single swing, drives it out to left field. And a bit of a stumble by Rachel Lewis coming around third base. Still a smile on her face, but safe either way.
And that's going to be it for Mazzone. She was so magical for the second inning and the third inning, but here running into a wall in inning number 5. So a pitching change with 1 out and runners on at the corners in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Sydney Littlejohn Watkins coming in to pitch. Littlejohn Watkins, the starter yesterday for Team Chidester. She inherits some trouble here in the 5th inning. 2 aboard with just 1 out.
First thing you're going to want to watch when you see Sydney Littlejohn Watkins out there in the circle is that dynamic curveball that she throws. It has so much movement on it, such tight spin. She loves to throw to these right-handed batters to utilize that movement, moving away from their barrels. Got that curveball. She'll throw it to both sides of the plate, but that ball just moves so much within the strike zone when it's on its way to those batters. This is the type of defense that you like to have if you're a pitcher out there. Kelsey Harshman diving up the middle with this double play, number 8 on the SportsCenter top 10. Then off the bat of Kelsey Harshman, it was Bubba Nickles out in right field with the number 6 play, diving head first, laying it all out on the line. And Eric, we've seen a couple of SportsCenter top 10 worthy plays tonight. Another one being that throw that Bubba Nickles had all the way across the field to Sydney Sherrill to get Amanda Lorenz out.
There's your game leaderboard brought to you by Geico. In today's game alone, Bubba Nickles leading the way. She's a +70. Golden opportunity for Gwen Speckes. The infield's in all the way around. What we have seen going back to June's AUX season in San Diego is Littlejohn Watkins, Madison, is death against right-handed hitters.
It's hard to describe the type of movement that you see out of her hand when you're up in the box. When she releases the ball, you know what's coming, but again, you have to swing where the ball's going to end up, so you have to anticipate just how much that curveball is going to move away from your barrel. That's how she's able to get those strikeouts.
Oh, great job by Speckes. Little looper into center field, and Lewis scores easily. It's the 2nd run of the inning for Team Ocasio. They've broken the seal in a big way.
You'd imagine the game plan for Speckes going up against Sydney Littlejohn Watkins was just to try to not do too much. Look at the extension. She doesn't even finish her swing. She goes with this outside pitch, low in the zone, drives it right back up the middle to center field to bring across Rachel Lewis.
All right, so this game is totally turned. It's already a 20-point inning for Team Ocasio, and now they lead 4-3. And as we told you, it's getting late, folks. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. Team Chidester, they're only going to have 6 more outs to work with, and now they're down a run.
Well, you knew that Team Ocasio was coming into tonight wanting to make sure they did whatever they possibly could to come out with a win in week 1, because we know just how important getting those win points are if you want to move up on the leaderboard. Yes, you can rack up the individual stat points. Yes, you can get the inning win points, but ultimately these players, for all of them, every single time they come out on the field, they are looking to win these ball games.
The only out this inning was recorded on the base paths. All 5 batters this inning have reached safely. The walk and then 4 consecutive singles. The only out was when Lorenz was thrown out trying to get to third by Bubba Nickles. And another base hit. Ocasio into right field. Station to station softball. Taylor stops at third.
I think Team Ocasio already saw Bubba Nickles throw out one of their runners in this inning, and they said, you know what, we're just going to hold them up, keep the runners where they are, leave the bases loaded with 1 away.
Here is Danielle Gibson. Gibson, one of the best college seasons ever, just this past spring, playing for Arkansas. 445 batting average, 20 homers, and 70 runs batted in. Yowza.
And Danielle Gibson's really well known for hitting the home run cycle earlier in her career. What an impressive game, not just to hit 4 home runs, but to be able to come through with the runners on base when they were.
Home run cycle is a solo homer, a 1-run homer, a 2-run homer, and a grand slam. Well, hold on here. A solo homer, a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer, and a grand slam.
There you go. I know you're over there calculating the leaderboard, so.
Oh my goodness, off the glove of Chidester. She wants that back. Another run scores. Danielle Gibson almost took the glove off of Chitty's hand, and another run scores for Team Ocasio.
How many hits in this inning have we seen deflected off of these infielders' gloves?
Oh, it might have been. It's going to be scored a single.
I guarantee if you ask Amanda Chidester, that is a ball that she needs to catch.
Oh, as she catches that ball, she waltzes over to first base, and it's a double play. So it's a 2-run lead now for Team Ocasio. It started with the walk to Lorenz and then 6 consecutive singles. And poor little John Watkins, she has to leave the ball game. She faces 4 batters, gives up 3 consecutive singles, and now she's done. Peyton St. George is going to come in. First time we've seen her since Friday's opening night.
Tough luck for Sydney Littlejohn Watkins, but she gives way to the rookie here. If you're Peyton St. George, you're just doing whatever you can to try to get a ground ball out, do whatever you can to get your team back in the dugout to pick up the bats. But coming in a really tough spot here with the bases loaded, 1 away. And she's somebody that is very well known for her rise ball that she's going to throw up in the zone. High velocity with upspin, but it's the off-speed pitch that's really a difference maker for her every single time she's in the circle.
So Peyton St. George played on Friday, didn't play yesterday, now inherits the bases loaded and still just 1 out. Mondays are real fun with Athletes Unlimited. A full week of Athletes Unlimited action unveiled on Monday. Tomorrow we have drafts for both softball and lacrosse starting at 5 Eastern time. Lacrosse is going to begin their next week of games on Thursday, while softball starts their next week of games in Rosemont here on Friday. Plan your week using auprosports.com. This is what St. George inherits. Svekis at third, Ocasio at second, Gibson at first. Janae Jefferson brimming with confidence, her first professional hit back in the 2nd inning. Down the left field line, Andrews can't make the play. Man, we're accustomed to seeing Aaliyah Andrews make similar plays like that. I think she needed another 1.5 feet.
Say she just ran out of room on that one. Was really trying to come up with a catch, and the 2nd out on that foul ball down the left field line. It's not enough room for the speedy Andrews.
St. George would love a strikeout. called strike 3. Good job by the rookie. St. George strikes out Jefferson.
Comes in a really tough situation, but handles it like a pro. Working Janae Jefferson outside, brings this one down in the zone a bit, right there at the knees, gets her looking for strike 3.
One more to get for Peyton St. George. It'll be the 9th batter of the inning. Grabbing a bat, hitting in place of Abby Ramirez, Sachel Palacios.
Sachel Palacios, another batter that's no stranger to these bases loaded situations. Had herself a grand slam in San Diego in that AUX season back in June.
And 2. Peyton St. George turned on the lights with the Duke softball program. The first ever commit when they started the program. Softly, right side, Romero throws out Palacios, and the side is retired. But 3-run score for Team Ocasio. They win the inning, and now they've got the lead. 5-3 our score.
Well, it's time now for our Geico defensive play of the game, and it comes courtesy of the third baseman, Nadia Taylor, a veteran when it comes to professional softball, and she moves so quickly down the line to rob that hit. That line drive off of the bat of Erica Piancastelli.
Oh no, poor Erica. But we're going to talk to Erica Piancastelli right now. Erica, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness, we just showed the bullet that you hit, probably 125 miles an hour, that Nadia caught a couple innings ago. It's just so rough of a game. You hit a couple of bullets, you've lined out to short, you've lined out to third, you got nothing to show for it.
Man, you know what's crazy is before the game, I manifested hitting really hard line drives, but I guess I wasn't clear enough as to not hit it to people. So props to Nadia, man. She's playing great defense.
And Erica, I was so fascinated getting the opportunity to watch you in that home run derby over in London. So you have to tell everybody about it. How did that fall into your lap, and what was your favorite part about that experience?
Honestly, it was just random. I got an email from MLB about this project that they wanted to do. I got it, I think, at the end of 2021. And I thought it was a scam at first, so I kind of ignored it. And they followed back, and we got on a Zoom and we talked about it, and they were legit talking about a home run derby in London. I was like, absolutely, sign me up. And it was the most amazing experience. I was on cloud 9 the whole day. Just overall an amazing experience. I learned so much from all the legends and all the players that were there, and it was just something I've never imagined myself doing, but I'm very, very happy that they asked me to.
And you're going to Seoul, am I correct? That's the next one for you. When's that going to be?
Yeah, I go to Seoul in September. September 17th is the second event.
And now, Erica, Nick Swisher was on your team, and I heard that you formed a really special bond with him and learned some things from him that you take into your daily life. What is that exactly that you learned from Nick Swisher?
I did. He's an incredible man. The biggest thing I think I learned from him and from all the conversations we've had in just a short time was he is grateful for everything, and he just wakes up with the biggest energy and the biggest smile on his face because he knows that he's been blessed and he has a great life, and he just wakes up really happy, and he wakes up and he wants to help people, and he's always positive, and I think that energy really reflects him and it gravitates everyone towards him. So the minute I met him and I saw his energy, I was just stuck by his hip the whole time. I was like, I need to know more, I need to know more. And he's just a very intelligent man, and he's worked so hard to get to where he got. And I think just listening to that story and listening to everything that he's put in to be where he is just very motivating.
Now, of course, you hitting the home run balls was super impressive, but what I loved was the diving catch you made out in the grass, and I think it actually came off of the bat of Paige Halstead, former UCLA Bruin. How was that, making that diving catch out there?
Oh, it was amazing. I wanted, the whole day I was trying to make a diving catch. I was like, I want to dive so bad. And I tried the first game and I hit the turf hard and the ball just came out of my glove. And so I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. And so the second game I was like, you know what, I'm just going to dive for it. And I caught it and I was really excited.
Erica, this game's getting really dicey, but I do want to ask you about your situation. Of course, you played last year in the Olympics with Greta Cicchetti, with Andrea Filler, Team Italy. What's the status of softball in Italy? In terms of competition level, in terms of where is it at, how close is it to being elite on a worldwide level?
It's growing. It's growing. Unfortunately, it's still at a very slow pace, but the Olympics have definitely helped us use our platforms more and get more people involved and more people wanting to learn more. And I think that's all we need is we need people to just want to learn more so that we can just teach everything, make them understand that this is such a fun game and it teaches you so much outside of the field as well as on the field. And I think if we can just keep that and keep that as a continuous thing in Italy, we can grow the game. And I think all over Europe it's growing, and I think having Worlds next year, continuing to play at such an elite level, and then also having me and Greta in Japan right now playing, I think is also showing everybody that, yes, you could be playing in Italy and also play at an elite level.
Erica, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And good luck this inning. You guys have something going on.
I mean, I'm ready. Thank you, guys.
Erica Piancastelli, one of the originals here with Athletes Unlimited. Haley McClenny batting with the game on the line. This may be the best opportunity that Team Chidester has remaining. Runners on at first and at second. One out. Leah Andrews popping up a bunt. Ooh, man. First and second, nobody out, and Andrews popped up a bunt. But still, some of the best hitters in the world in the crosshairs for Alicia Ocasio. After McClenny, Anissa Urtez, and then Amanda Chidester. Off-speed pitch. Out number 2, recorded at second. Jefferson understanding the circumstance, knowing they're never going to get McClenny out at first. Make sure she gets the out at second.
Well, McClenny hit that ball so hard, too, that Janae Jefferson thought about flipping it to Abby Ramirez, but she wasn't able to get there in time. Smartly takes it herself. You can see Haley McClenny knows she just missed that one. An off-speed pitch. It just happened to go right to Janae Jefferson, who was playing up the middle.
2 outs, runners on at the corners. 2-run game. Urtez swings and fouls it away. Urtez has at least an extra base hit in every game she's played this weekend. A couple of homers and a double. The Unlimited Club provides great benefits, including voting on league decisions, interaction with players, signed items, and more. For more information or to join today, go to auprosports.com. High drive, playable Lorenz. Side retired. Alicia Ocasio, she walked that tightrope, but she ends up on the other side unscathed. A 0 on the board.
For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees, and with just one swing of the bat, Shannon Rhodes' 2-run shot, that is 20 trees added to the total for Aspiration.
What a comeback. Team Ocasio, they had a lead early in the game, that 2-run home run by Shannon Rhodes in the first inning, but then they went cold for a number of innings, only to fire it back up again in the 5th inning. The first 7 batters of the inning all reaching safely. A walk and then 6 consecutive singles. He'll try and do it again the exact same way. Amanda Lorenz leads things off here in the 6th after leading it off in the 5th. Erica Piancastelli is your new catcher. She's been in the game all along, but as the DP. All right, some things you guess at, and other things you just know. Amanda Lorenz does not have a hit on the weekend, and that's just not going to way she's going to end her week. She's getting a hit here.
She might not have a hit, but she's had some really solid at-bats. Several walks throughout the first 3 games here in week 1, 2 walks tonight, so she's getting on base to try to set the table for the rest of her offense. But you're exactly right, she is just due for a hit.
The softball gods will not let her go through a weekend without a hit. She's been good to the game, and the game's going to be good back to her. Peyton St. George, her first full inning. Very impressive performance by the rookie. She came on an inning ago with the bases loaded and 1 out. She got a strikeout and a bounce out, no damage done. And another walk for Lorenz. They're not going to let her get a hit. Good golly. Her 3rd walk of the game. Don't miss your chance to see the excitement of Athletes Unlimited softball in person right here in Rosemont, Illinois. If you want to come early on August 6th, how about the 3-game tailgate hosted by Sarah Spain? Live food, music, games, more. Tickets available, auprosports.com/tickets. Shannon Rhodes. Good pitch by St. George. Shannon Rhodes leads the in-game leaderboard. She's a +80. Sarah Gronewagen, who had a really good start. 4 innings. Every out a pitcher records is a +8. She had 12 outs, 4 times 12, 48. So line share of her points. Earlier today, nice win for Team Zirkel over Team Everly, 9-3. It was a wild one. A whole bunch of offense. Bottom of the 6th inning. Team Chidester will have 3 more outs to try and get something going in the 7th. Team Ocasio trying to expand the lead. Roberts is one tough customer. Rhodes has fouled off a whole bunch of pitches.
I really like, too, that Peyton St. George is working these pitches down in the zone, a lot of off speeds, too. The scouting report on her is that she likes to throw the rise ball up in the zone, so if you can change that eye level, bring it down at mixed speeds, that's where you're going to be really efficient in a circle.
Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. That's the first out of the inning.
Another off-speed pitch, 52 miles per hour, but what I like with that one is it has so much spin and rotation on it that it looks like it's coming in a lot faster than it actually is. And because of that deception that she has, you're gonna get swings and misses way out in front, like that one by Shannon Rhodes.
Tori Vidalis lifts it foul and out of play.
We encourage everyone to please be mindful of foul balls. Please be alert.
Peyton St. George actually took advantage of the new NIL, the name, image, and likeness situation in college sports. She had a deal with the Durham Bulls minor league baseball team in Durham, North Carolina, which is where Duke is, where she went to school and was such a big name on the softball field. They asked her to do social media, merchandise stuff, make appearances. Pretty cool, huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah, why not?
I love seeing these
Everyone
athletes
else is making money.
Being able to take advantage of those opportunities in college. I don't think she liked the ball that she was throwing. She asked to get a new ball. And she likes that one. She approved of that one. There we go.
They don't rub up softballs, do they? You know, Major League Baseball, they rub up balls with that mud from the Delaware River.
I don't think they do as much in softball. Every once in a while, the pitchers are going to try to accidentally drop the ball on the dirt, but no dirt to be had here in Rosemont.
Two and one to Vidalis. Popped up. Home run in a phone booth. Who wants it? Play is made by Romero. 2 down.
The third baseman,
So the leadoff walk to Lorenz, and she's still on at first. The strikeout of Rhodes, the pop-up off the bat of Vidalis, and now the last hope for Team Ocasio in the 6th inning is Nadia Taylor. Nadia's eyes were darting. It's like she was thinking about laying down a bunt or something. That's not going to happen.
I feel like, too, a lot of times hitters are going to scan the infield and the outfield to see maybe if they're playing defensive shifts on them, because that's a tell of where the pitcher's trying to attack you in the zone. Are they going to stay outside, or are they going to come inside? Right there, if you're going to come inside on Nadia Taylor, you better make sure that you're pulling the string on it, 56 miles per hour, way out in front. And this defense for Team Chidester really respecting the power that Nadia Taylor brings up to the plate.
Looking forward to that 7th inning. Alicia Ocasio is going to be in the circle, and she's going to earn this win. She'll have to pitch to Amanda Chidester, Erica Piancastelli, and Bubba Nickles. On the ground to third, Cheryl, what an arm! Oh my, I like what I see out of Sydney Cheryl defensively. Scoreless 6th inning. To the 7th we go. Amanda Chidester will be in the batter's box when we come back. We've made it to the 7th inning, 2-run game. Team Chidester needs a pair to keep this game alive. Our next WNBA game, it'll be the Sun and the Mercury, Thursday 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN2 and the app. Sun already clinched a playoff spot. Mercury fighting for a spot, just 7 games remaining in the regular season. Amanda Chidester will lead things off. Here's your updated leaderboard brought to you by Geico. Unless something absolutely dramatic happens, Carrie Everly is going to be the #1 captain heading into our week 2. But everything's still in flux. We've got 20 inning points on the line, and we've got the game on the line as we play the 7th. If Alicia Ocasio can get 3 outs before anyone scores, it's going to be a plus 70 for everyone on Team Ocasio. That's a big number for winning the game and winning the final 2 innings. Chidester, Piancastelli, Nickles. If the inning continues, Sierra Romero. Popped up. Will it be playable? Right fielder Lois makes the play.
Good grab by Rachel Lewis out in right field. Had to run a long way for that one. Janae Jefferson was running back on that too. Just shows you again how important that communication is, not just when the ball's in the air, but also before that pitch. Paying attention to where your teammates are playing so you know just how much ground you have to cover to make outs like that.
Erica Piancastelli scorches it, but right into the glove of the center fielder. Shannon Rhodes had it played perfectly. That's another atom ball by Piancastelli.
Erica has executed her game plan. She wanted to hit line drives. That is her 3rd line drive tonight. This one just right on the money, straight to Shannon Rhodes in center field. You can't hit a ball much harder than that one.
All right, 1 out away from a ball game. Bubba Nickles, last hope for Team Chidester. Nickles has had a wonderful game. Three-run homer for Nickles back in the 3rd. Dating back to Friday's opener, Alicia Ocasio has now thrown 8 consecutive shutout innings. Ocasio gave up a couple of runs in the 1st inning and then put up zeros in the 2nd and the 3rd. She threw 4 shutout innings yesterday, and today out of the pen, she is working on 2 consecutive shutout innings, and now she's 1 out away from another shutout inning. Unbelievable. Alicia Ocasio have a ball game, why don't you? Alicia Ocasio and Team Ocasio, they win for the first time on the weekend, and it's going to be a massive point total for everyone on Team Ocasio.
A great team win for this squad, too. No one coming into today, they were going to do whatever it takes to come out with a win. They came out swinging in the first inning, that 2-run shot by Shannon Rhodes, and then it was the 6 consecutive singles in the 5th inning that ultimately lifted them to get the win here tonight.
By throwing just that one shutout inning in the 7th inning, Ocasio began the inning in 34th. She's going to jump up all the way to 11th spot. Unbelievable. Here's your look at the Geico leaderboard. Wow, things are changing dramatically after 1 week of play. We still have the MVP points to be added in, and that will decide who will be our captains for Monday's draft. Sure hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Tomorrow, drafts for both softball and lacrosse starting at 5 Eastern. We'll be back here in Rosemont on Friday. For Madison Chipman, for Key Michael, I'm Eric Collins saying good night from Rosemont.